Hi friends, this is Angelica. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a fun Christmas card to share. I used products from the Greetery's new Recollections Holiday Collection, which is now in the Greetery shop. I want to first start with the Fair Isle stencil set. This is a 5-piece stencil set. Super easy to use. I've made tons of backgrounds already with this set. So I'm going to start with my Waffle Flower grip mat, which I have on my desk. I put a card panel down and now I'm attaching the first stencil in this set. Each stencil does have an A2 size rectangle guide on the stencil, so I can line the stencil up with my panel, and every stencil is going to match because of that guide. I'm going to be inking with Distress Oxide inks, starting with Salvaged Patina, and I will be using sponge daubers to apply the ink over the stencils. To finish the panel, I'm going to ink the edges with a little bit of light brown ink. I'm using dough ink from Pink Fresh Studio. I love to use dough ink or their warm buff. I'm just on this kick lately of really distressing my card fronts and aging them, and this is just such a beautiful soft brown that's so easy to blend on the edges. So once I was done blending the brown ink, I splattered the panel with a little bit of watered down white paint for a snowy look. And now we're going to move on to one of my favorite products in this release. This is the Big Beautiful Bow Die. The bow itself is 7 pieces. I've already die cut white cardstock off screen, and I'm just going to quickly show you how the bow is put together. These first 2 pieces are the base of the bow. They each have a C-shaped tab that you're going to line up and glue together. Then there are 2 pieces that are the top of the bow and the center knot. The last 2 pieces are the tail with the same C-shaped tabs that you're going to glue the bow onto. You can die cut 2 different colors of cardstock to make the bow, or I'm going to use Distress Oxide inks. That's what I always do, or the majority of the time when I'm die cutting. So I'm going to use Saltwater Taffy to be the top of the bow and Abandoned Coral to be the bottom of the bow. So we have 2 tones. There's also a stitched strip and a small tag in this die set. I'm not going to use the tag today, but I am going to use the strip. So I die cut 2 strips and inked them with Saltwater Taffy. And now I'm going to use liquid glue to attach the pieces together. The sentiment that I'm going to be using comes from the Bright and Bubbly stamp set. There's also a coordinating die set that goes with the stamp set, and I'll be using the sentiment dies to die cut the sentiment. I like to do my die cutting first before stamping, so I ran white cardstock through my die cut machine with the sentiment dies, and I put the negative into my MISTI. I have a grip mat in my MISTI. I put the positive die cuts into their place, lined up the stamps, and stamped them with poppy ink from Concord and Ninth. My last step before assembling the card is adding a little bit more white paint splatter. So I put everything on top of the card panel, the bow and the ribbon and sentiment, splattered a little bit of white paint on them. And now I'm going to use glue to attach the strips. Now I am making sure that the bow is going to be pretty much on the panel and not hanging off the panel too much. So I did make sure that the position of the ribbon strip was correct before gluing it to the panel. And then I'm going to glue the ribbon on top, or glue the bow on top of the ribbon, and I'll attach the sentiment with thin foam squares. Since I had these products out, I did make a second panel in the same layout. I changed the colors just a bit. I made a blue ribbon using Salvaged Patina and Peacock Feathers Distress Oxide inks, and I stamped the sentiment with Concord and Ninth Peacock ink. I love how bright and cheerful these cards turned out. They were super easy to put together, and I cannot get enough of this big, beautiful bow. I would love to hear what you think about it. Leave a comment down below, hit the like button. I will have links to all the products I use down in the description, and I will also link my blog. That's all that I have for today. Be sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss out on future videos. I will be back shortly with another video, so I'll see you then. Take care, friends.